justice as possible, and we had this big premiere, and that's like the second con I've been to. There's like 100,000 people there, and so we meet him, and I got him to draw.
Oh, that's right.
I got him to draw Angelica, the big rat that my wife plays, and so that was a little gift. But we're like, oh, let's do some stuff. We're like, I want you to draw me Angelica.
Yeah.
It's like. It talks to the translator.
Yeah, we had to talk to the translator, and he was excited to see us too.
He just did it freehand. It was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, it's because he loves the show. He loves talking about it. He asked us all these questions about it. We're like, no, we wanted to ask you questions about it. And it's your thing. Like, you know everything.
Oh yeah, and he had a message from the Japanese Seiyu for Natsu for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his message for me was like, he goes, put your hand out on table. And so I put my hand out on table and he goes, yeah! And so this is actually a fake hand. That was his message. It was very strange, but it's how they do things there.
He said, and then he said, I'm not gonna lose to you.
I need one ticket to Japan.
I think he tweeted it from his yacht, No big deal.
Well, speaking of Volume 5, Part 5, that we were just talking about, I was wanting to see if you guys, without giving away too much for people that haven't read the manga, I want you guys to kind of give a little bit of your opinion about the direction the show is taking and what some of the things that are happening with the characters.
Oh, it's pretty cool. That Volume 5, the Horatio and Stace arc, it's just cool to see, you get the cast very consolidated. Everybody goes away, Natsu and Lucy and the core group all go away to fight, the worst, strongest Dark Guild around. And
the Risible Rangers.
So that was cool to see this new dynamic. They really worked on their kind of core team thing, and it was not as dark as some of the other ones, but it's not as lighthearted as the other ones. And you see a lot more new characters, some big characters come into play from the other guilds, and you kind of see how some of the other guilds interact, like the Blue Pegasus Guild with all the Playboys. Ichiya, yeah.
I think
Can I make an announcement?
Well, tomorrow we are going to be doing some casting.
Industry panel tomorrow.
Industry panel tomorrow. We are going to make some special announcements, but I know that Tyler...
I'd like to announce Ichiya, who you're talking about, because he's here somewhere, if that's all right. Come on.
Everybody say please, Gia.
Please.
All right, Ichiya Vanderlei Kotobuki will be played by, people probably know him as General Ivan, Chris Guerrero.
Chris Guerrero!
He's done some stuff with Team 4-Star and Dragon Ball
right
and
on.
stuff.
That's gonna be awesome.
And he sounds hilarious. He was the narrator for Toriko. If you haven't seen that, then I don't know. I can't help you.
Seriously, if you have not seen Toriko, then you just get out of my
I saw a Toriko cosplayer.
I know! I've seen 2 of them! And there was one guy that said that his little brother's coming as Komatsu tomorrow. I'm so excited!
Century soup time!
Yeah. So that's what I did while I took a break from Fairy Tail, is just did 50 episodes of that show. Just whipped them out. Working with Todd again on that one. As Takemaru. And Chris Guerrero was the narrator for that, and he just has the craziest. He sounds like he's 50 years old, and he's like what? He just turned 22 or 23. He's a young kid.
Yeah, he's got when the first time I heard it, I was just like, is that Tatum with a cold?
Yeah.
It was. I couldn't pick it out to the closest person because he has that richness to his voice that Tatum has. So.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah. It's hilarious.
I cannot wait to hear that.
Next month, but everybody else will. I'm sure everyone wants to know who plays Wendy and Carla.
Tomorrow,
and all that.
no.
But
no.
I didn't know that wasn't announced yet.
she'll totally kill me.
No, I just didn't know it wasn't announced yet.
We have witness.
Yeah, we did.
want to go back to work on Monday. So.
And I wanted to say, since we did just announce a new character, I wanted to see if you maybe want to discuss him a little bit. So.
Oh yeah, he's the main playboy, the leader of the Trimans of the Horatio and Sace, and he's got his 3 guys who repeat everything after him and who like have total man crush on him, and he's the ultimate man's man. Yeah, so he's a real man. No, he's not a real man, you know.
Yeah.
But he's a ladies' man, a smooth man.
Oh,
a gentleman. And he's obsessed with the way that ladies in particular, their feminine musk, if you will. Parfum.
Yes, the parfum.
Yes.
The views and opinions espoused in this panel do not necessarily reflect those of Funimation.
Your parfum drives me crazy.
That is not anything we're planning on doing merch rights for anytime soon.
Yeah, is there any empty bottles or unsold bottles of like Britney Spears perfume or something? We can just put a sticker over. But yeah, that group is real fun, and you know we've got there's a lot of newer people on in this newer arc. Some people that I found through auditions who had, you know, maybe had been like guy who gets killed B, or you know, there's a lot of those or had been in Toriko or some other stuff. And you know the way, you know, he's talking about the audition, like you read for Natsu or you read for Gray or Lucy or whoever, and you know, you don't hear anything if you don't get it. That's like it, you know. Or you get, hey, you're his best friend, or you're somebody. You're the guy he beats up in the first episode. But sometimes there's people that you know what's going to happen. It's like, well, if we ever get past episode 50, you know, maybe that guy would be good for that. You know, so you have to think so far in advance. And sometimes someone auditions. It's been like I've remembered someone for like 2 years. It's like, oh, it's your time, buddy. You know. So you know that's kind of how it goes sometimes.
No,
Because there's so many episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, like with Chris, when you know that episodes are coming up and you've read the manga and you're familiar with it, you may have seen the Japanese, the original Japanese. In your head, are you saying like, oh man, I hope it goes this way, or I think it's gonna go this way? And then when it comes out, it's like, why did Todd say it like that? Why did he say it like that? I wanted him to say it this way. Are you just like, you're just strapped in, ready for the ride? Like,
I'm pretty much just strapped in, ready for the ride, because pretty much from the first time that y'all started this, I was like, okay, they are really putting their heart and effort into it, and I am just so glad, because I mean, as a fan, any one of you guys know that as a fan, when something is adapted, it may not always go the way you want it to go, and that's fine and all. But I mean, the thing is that these guys put so much work into it, and I remember you telling me like that he pretty much put so much work into it. They used to call him Natsu the Throat Slayer because it would just destroy his throat.
Oh yeah, though there are definitely octaves and ranges I can't hit anymore, because see, you can't really hear it now, but when you're in a sound booth and I'm right up on the mic, the note I get the most out in LA when I read is okay, that's a good read. Go ahead, but take some of the gravel out of it. That's just in there. Like at this point, it is built in. I can't get rid of it. You can't really hear it now, but there's a certain like that's in there that is just, there's like, you know when you have a little salt shaker and there's those little kernels at the end and you shake it and it sounds, you can't get those little morsels out. That's what's in my throat. There's something that's broken off and it's rattling around here and I can't get it out. But that's thanks to Fairy Tail.
Yeah, it changes.
Yeah, Tyler really is the throat slayer, because Ian Sinclair, the voice of Toriko, his voice was like permanently changed by that show.
Oh yeah, but he likes it. It sounds like he's like this big now.
Tyler has this weird ability to just get these amazing performances, especially for like the battle-y kind of stuff.
It's called locking the door and you're not getting out until
If you're ever in Studio A on the other side of the door, and Jamie will attest to it, you'll attest to it, there are literally scratch marks. It looks like I kept a wild animal in there. There's scratch marks all over the door.
Those are
It's
our
weird.
scratch marks.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, there's this one time, here's the story about Mira Jane and her Satan soul, you know, when she powers up, and there's that fight against her, and it's against Freed,
Yeah.
and like after Elfman gets all beaten down, and he's like crying, and he's like
That did not
half
sound
dead.
like Monica anymore.
No, and the weird thing was, like, she, like, something was different about her, like, she was wearing, like, some, like, thing that she doesn't normally wear, she had, like, a new outfit on, and, like, she had just cut her hair, and, like, she was wearing her makeup different, she looked different, and we just put her through the ringer on that, and she just yelled, she loved it so much, she got the most cathartic kind of therapy out of it, but when she came out, she looked and sounded different, and it was weird. It's like somebody else came out of that room, and like that's the most dramatic I'd ever noticed that before. And then of course she's like this now, and so she's going to all the rooms. She's like, oh, let me record something. I'm only gonna sound like this till tomorrow.
That's what I did for Eureka 7.
Oh yeah,
Eureka
yeah.
7. Eureka 7.
For
yeah,
time.
so
I heard about that.
in that show, everyone did. I mean,
I just
everyone.
call it E7.
Yeah, E7. In E7, I play Truth, the villain
Not
Truth.
time.
And so what I would do is I would record it in Tyler's in Fairy Tail, and then my voice was completely shot, and then I would go record on that cartoon as the villain, and because my voice was more down here. And like Michael Clark Duncan, and so I would record on that show.
And I'd always send you away with that throat comfort tea.
Yeah, throat comfort. That's right. Throat comfort tea.
And when I recorded with Ian, he would always bring in lemons, fresh lemons, honey, tea. He had this whole ritual. His like little toe shoes and all that stuff. It's so ritualistic. It's so ritualistic. He had this whole thing like that. Todd's a little more freewheeling. And he always wants to do everything. I'm like, okay, we're not gonna do this yell until the very end. He's like, no, let me do it now. He's like the little chihuahua.
Control.
Yeah, he's like, just let me do it.
Yeah, I remember bumping into you in the break room, and you were making a cup of tea, and I was just like, hey, honey, how are you? And you're just like, I'm recording Fairy Tail. And I was just like, oh, okay, how much longer are you in town for? I was just doing audiobook tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was up till 6.
And he's not exaggerating. There are times when I'm recording an audiobook till like 6 or 7 a.m. and then going to the studio at 10 a.m.
Yeah, where's Todd? It's like 10:30. Oh, he's asleep in his car in the parking lot.
I was asleep. Because I laid my seat back and go, oh, I've got 10 minutes till 10. I'll take a little snooze before everyone gets here. And then wake up, it's 10:40. And like, I'm in the front parking spot of Funimation and they walked right past me.
But, this line of work, it's like, when working on Blast Rider with both you and Jamie, like that's the first time that you ever said, I taste blood, and then that's how it went. And then you hired me for doing one of your D Gray Man monsters, and it's like, okay.
Revenge.
I'm the fire!
Yeah, that guy.
And actually, real quick before I steal her away, I just wanted to see if Tyler wanted to introduce kind of our dark horse person that we've got in here
Sorry.
today.
Oh yeah, Jamie Markey. She's done a couple of things, Voice of Kana.
Yes, I'm the voice of Kana. So for everyone who suspected I was going to be cast, you were right. It had nothing to do with the beer.
I'm going to turn my mic over to Miss Gia to help out for just the end. It's okay. They're doing fine. It's all right. Just in case they need a little product, because I unfortunately have to go and do another thing.
And be sully elsewhere.
So yes.
And take care of all the
I
action.
like to go and I leave nothing unsullied.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sully! Now, Chris, I have a question for Chris. Bye, guys. Bye, Jamie.
And Sully's entourage.
Now, Chris, for you, what I love about the show is that the battles are so fantastic and different, and they challenge all of us in a different way. Like, what's your favorite battle that you've seen thus far?
Oh Oh God. Natsu versus the God Slayer. Yes.
Oh god.
All right, one that we've done.
Oh dang it!
Thanks,
dude.
First 48.
Okay. Oh, okay. Fine. The Tower of Heaven, Jalal.
Oh,
yeah.
Righteous.
That Tower of Heaven arc, that when I was watching that before we started the show, I'm like, whoa, this got really, really dark.
It's
got
like took
really
a
dark.
really crazy turn
Yeah.
and really quickly too.
Yeah.
And then finally you get to see kind of how Natsu's power can grow as a dragon slayer, how he kind of takes on more of the attributes of a dragon. And when that was first introduced, it's like, what just happened?
Yeah. That God Slayer fight is pretty dope though.
It's about to happen.
That one was the whole, all of it. It just kind of gives me chills right now just thinking about it. It's weird that does from a show, but that's how much I love that show.
How about you guys? Favorite fights? Tyler and Todd.
Me versus Todd. It's called Every Line. Oh man. Favorite fight. What's yours?
Gaggio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, when he like takes her, he does the the demon log or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he goes on the back of your head, and like your face just goes all the way like over the floor, and all the tiles are ripping up and all that stuff.
Tony had to get more Botox after that. That's crazy.
It was awesome. I wrote that episode. I remember this is gonna be fun. Yeah, the Gaggio one, and like when Gaggio and when they like destroy the guild hall that first time. That's really it's just so intense. Like it's another one where it got really dark.
Yeah, it did. Because I remember also I was wondering if they were going to do this in the anime or not. Because I know where it aired on TV, but I remember in the manga it's like they put some of the characters up there and it looked like they had almost crucified them.
Oh yeah.
And I was
Levy and them.
Yeah, like Levy's group.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Shadow
What just
Gear.
happened? What just happened to this series?
I mean, I think one thing that's really cool about Fairy Tail is that they push the limit of how much they're going to put the character through before the happy ending comes. And you see a lot of the episodes of cartoons like Ninja Turtles and stuff where Shredder's going to threaten him, they're going to fight a little bit, maybe a foot soldier, maybe some little mouse robots, but they'll win in 22 minutes. But it's with these episodes, they push, all the characters get pushed pretty far, and you know that they're going to make it, but then there's that little part of you that's maybe they won't.
That Phantom Lord arc, it culminates in that Makarov and Josei fight, and that's pretty awesome because you don't ever see the old man fight, the old wizard fight. Makarov is one of my favorite characters. That and the whole Galuna Island, those are great ones with Leon and Gray, and that's also another dark one.
Yeah, it just it's kind of weird how the tone shifts just back and forth constantly.
Oh yeah, the whole Duke Everlew and all that.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's all real silly. It's super silly.
And then all of a sudden it's some dude trying to resurrect this demon just because he wanted to prove that he was better than his teacher who has been dead for a long time.
Yeah, and me and Newt wrote a song about that.
I heard it I heard it on the commentary. If y'all haven't heard it, it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's on the commentary track.
Yes, they wrote a song about Deliora.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious. He's on the drums, and you hear Newt in the guitar, and they're just.
Yeah, we wrote it over text. We just he was like, let's write a country song about Deliora. It's all right, I'll go. Here's a line, and then we did. He did most of the singing.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I'm
liked
a
it.
mic person.
I was I'm glad I watched this.
Yeah, Dell's Dying was the song.
So as you can see, Tyler knows this show, so it is in good hands. He's not going to let it go any way that it shouldn't go. So that's what, and you know what, I haven't heard a lot of negative feedback in the sense that, because on some shows they're man, they don't know what they're doing. They should have done this or should have done this, but for Fairy Tail, it's always, I've always heard great stuff about it. I mean.
Well, we try to stay pretty.
And I've heard constantly that people say that you sound like Tetsuya Kakihara.
Okay, good. I thought you were about to say, oh no, I've heard bad stuff. You're not reading the right forums. No, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I I heard that also from Alyssa, who was the engineer at the time. That she's like, you couldn't tell which track was playing sometimes, and it's like,
Oh, cool.
And that's awesome because I'm a huge Gurren Lagann fan, so I love Tetsuya Kakihara. So
Right on.
it's cool that you were able to follow.
Well, and I love Natsu because I love taking the shirt off anytime I can. In fact, no. I did it one time to unveil the tattoo. What I did was because Vic, so we were at this con, and I was like, I want to do something to we just got the tattoos. It was literally that week.
Chaoticon.
We had the tattoos on a
That's all
Tuesday.
nasty.
That's right. At Chaoticon. I'd gotten the tattoo on a Tuesday, and the convention was, the opening ceremony was just a Friday in Florida. And so I said, man, this would be cool if we unveiled it here in a way that we would never do it anywhere else. So when opening ceremonies comes on, I come out and I talk to everybody. I said, just got the tattoo. And they're like, well, let's see it. And I'm like, okay, you guys will see it. And so what I did was I took my shirt and went, but then underneath was a Superman shirt. I was like, oh, my costume, sorry. And then I showed the tattoo, and people loved it, and it proved, it showed that we will do what we say. So I said, if you guys get to 200 episodes, I will get that tattoo, and we will make it happen.
The funniest thing is that was a joke in the commentary. I'm like, oh, we're all sore because we just got our Fairy Tail Guild insignias. And Todd's like, let's do it. I'm like, all right, you can do it, and then we talked about it for, I don't know, like a year and a half or something. And then finally that day, you're like, you gonna do it? I'm like, I don't know. And then I walk over, I'm like, let's go, so.
And he was awesome because we were there getting it done, and then Todd was like, yeah, I'm gonna get one. Let's do it right now, we'll do it. And he totally did. And that was both of our first tattoos. And so our first tattoo is a Fairy Tail tattoo. And so we were, one thing that was funny is my aunt. I texted my aunt the quickie video showing the tattoo. And if you guys have seen it, it shows the whole process. I mean, there's no doubt that tattoo is there. And she texts me, she goes, I don't believe you. She goes, send me a picture of it right now. And so I sent her a picture of the one we took that night, where it's the black and white one that you guys may have seen. She goes, no, I'm talking about right now, wherever you're at, send me a picture right now. I'm like, okay, so you've seen a whole video about it, and I took it, and she goes, your great-grandmother would be rolling it over in her grave. And I went rolling over to watch more Fairy Tail. Sorry, great-grandma.
That was a good one.
I like the expressions you were making. It's like you were on the brink of crying.
Oh, it hurt, man. It hurt. Right? It was some pain.
Yeah, he was like, he's doing that Cuba Gooding Jr. face,
Yeah.
It was intense.
That's what it looked like. And then, of course, I got mine on my leg, and so I've got my leg propped up. And after a couple minutes, starts to fall asleep, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go with this. I'm not gonna hit this thing.
He's sitting there just like, I haven't heard it all. Are you doing it?
It is numb from the pain now.
Yeah.
So
It's like, what does it feel like? Well, it feels like someone dragging an electric needle around your skin, but other than that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know how anybody could misbelieve the look of pain on your face.
I know. And the wiping of the blood away
They've all
from
seen his
the
acting.
shoulder.
That's real.
Well, do you want to take questions, or do you have from
We
the
have
audience?
a few
Or?
minutes. I think I haven't seen anything from the staffers. So yeah, if a couple people want to come line up right here, walk, don't run. But we can only take a couple, so.
I know, right? They just the cat ears, they keep moving based on her. Yeah. The beats are breathing.
Sure.
This question's for Todd.
This mic's not working.
Hello.
Hello. What's the biggest blooper you made while you were voicing Natsu?
The biggest blooper while voicing Natsu.
And can you say it in a family-friendly audience?
The thing about it is, I'm not really big on bloopers in the booth because, especially with this show, the way we record is we do long form. So what happens is in LA, when I record, it's like one cue at a time. One little boop cue at a time. You can't do multiple cues at a time. For Fairy Tail, there are times when we have gone 3 pages of cues at one time. And so what I'm doing is when I'm watching the show, I am memorizing exactly the breakdown of the scenes, exactly my mouth movements, what's happening, while looking at the script at the exact same time, feeling out how that's going to fit in there, how I'm going to do it the whole time. So I'm like, I am zoned in and really focusing on that. So I'm not good at bloopers, and I'm kind of a square in the booth.
What he does is he'll say something like, it's Masker Makarov. He'll do that, and then he repeats himself.
Oh yeah, and then I autocorrect.
Yeah.
I'm like an iPhone. So what I'll do is we just did this the other day. It's like, so let's say I'm doing cues 10 through 40. Okay, I'm doing 10 through 40, I'm doing all the cues, paragraphs, reactions, fighting, all this. On cue 22, I may have messed up a word. So at the end of 40, I'll go back, give it a beat, and do 22 how I remember seeing it in my head and how it should have gone, and then the engineer will put it in that
Yeah,
spot.
and then we just let the engineer work for like the next 10 minutes. Like, all right, Kevin or
Yeah.
Kyle or whoever I've got in that day.
But I mean, that's what I try to focus on. Now, I'm no Chris Sabat. I mean, Sabat can get in there and he leaves awesome bombs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not horrible. But yeah, he's cool.
Thank you.
Todd, between Natsu, Ling Yao, and Alan Walker, who do you think would win in a food eating contest?
At a food eating contest? Ooh. A food eating contest.
What about the trucks?
You know, I'd love to say Natsu, but I really think it's Alan. I mean, Alan Walker, I mean, he builds up an appetite fighting against those Akuma. And he gets pretty hungry, and he needs to pound some food. You think Alan?
He's eating like 3 tables worth, I think.
Yeah, he's got some major gastrointestinal issues that at some point he's going to have to answer for.
Well, think about Natsu, he eats fire.
And that's
You
just
want to wake up that
fine.
next morning and...
That heartburn?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He sleeps in a giant Rolade. But yeah, I think Alan.
Lucy's apartment.
Maybe she doesn't even know it.
Let's go.
Okay. I don't know how big anyone in the cast is on method acting, but
Oh, I thought you said, I don't know how you guys feel about methadone. I've got a couple CCs in.
have you started invading Jeremy Lee's home yet?
Long before the show I began recording it, I was already doing that. I have the routes plotted out. I know the police response time. All that. So I'm old. I know when the neighborhood watch, when they're taking breaks for the evenings. So I'm all good there.
Oh, hey, what?
You turn it off.
Turn it off. Alright, testing. Oh, let's see. So episodes 1 through 48, I love Fairy Tail. I love the English dub, and I mean, I'm up to maybe episode 55 now. It's now just all subs. I'm just wondering. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's going to be a new Dragon Slayer coming later on. I'm just wondering, episodes 49 to up, when is that going to come? I mean, is that just wait?
Next
on
month.
the sale?
July 23rd?
Yes.
Yeah, July 23rd.
Part 5.
Right. And,
July 23rd.
I see.
And
And
next month is part 6.
I see. And then second, like, Grandma got a character named Simone. It's also done by Tetsuya Kakihara. Unfortunately, he was taken English by Yuri Lowenthal. And I was just thinking, since Tetsuya does Natsu and you do Natsu in English, do you think you could try to do like Giga Drill Break?
Giga Drill Break?
Yes. I mean, if you're not familiar with it, I won't ask you to do it, but have you ever seen
Well,
it?
see, because my interpretation is like, hey, Giga Drill Break, oh! And that's totally wrong.
Giga Drill Break!
Giga Drill Break! Yeah! I'm a villain on Mega Man.
Yes, I have a question for the writer. In your personal life, when you're working with the show for the script, how much does that affect your personal life? Do you find yourself dreaming about the show 24/7?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, you dream about it, and like, you know, my weekends are not as exciting as they could be. So you just you work on it. You know, you have to every cue that comes up, you have to say like, oh, Natsu belches at 0 minutes and 28 seconds and 13 frames. Lucy laughs at, you know, all this. So you have to plot out every single thing that's said or uttered or screamed or laughed or sneezed in the entire episode. And you know, I've done quite a few of those by now. So it really kind of takes over a lot of your mind space. So you tend to know it pretty well. You tend to think about it a lot, and it's cool. It's great to see it all happen and be a part of it. Like I said, we read the manga. So we have all that we have a lot of resources at our disposal, and we try to keep to that or make things. You're talking about that whole ninja, stuff. And,
I actually thought that was funnier. I mean, I love the nin, but then it's like we go swift like ninja.
Yeah, it made more sense. Like sometimes you can make those kind of changes, and you have the authority to do it on that end while staying as faithful as possible.
Because it wouldn't make sense like to an English audience, because that's kind of like a Japanese pun.
Yeah.
So it's not really gonna make sense.
So you see some of that sometimes, but just ask my wife. Like it's Saturday night. I guess you're gonna be in there working on your script. Like I'll come out and say hi in 2 hours.
Honey, someone's breaking into the house. I'm on 1 2. Tell them don't take the dogs.
Okay, this one's for Todd.
Hello.
As Natsu, which of the girls do you want him to be with?
Oh my
I
god.
was just talking about this the other day.
Yeah, you're like, do I ever get with Lucy?
Yeah. Because sometimes I think maybe there might be a little bit of a Slayer spark there, maybe a little bit. I think Urza would be too controlling of the finances. I think it has to be Lucy. I think it's gotta be Lucy. Or Blue.
Okay, so Todd, I got a question I have to ask on behalf of my cousin, because he's seen you at every anime convention he's ever gone to, and he says your eyebrows freak him out. He was wondering if you wax or pluck them to get them into
A lady never tells. Okay, so I am Asian. I don't have a lot of hair to begin with. My chest has 2 hairs. One in the North Pole, one in the South. And so my beards, whenever I've grown a beard, and people are like, oh, did you not shave today? No, I didn't shave for the past 6 months. I just can't grow them. So my eyebrows, maybe a little thing pop, like a little renegade tries to pop up every now and then, and I just I burn them off with some acid or whatever's available. Bleach or, those little Clorox wipes that have been soaking in bleach. I'll use those sometimes. Those really clean it at the same time. And I can't see out of my left eye, but it's a variety of tactics. I'm a Gruber. I just, whatever's around the house.
Thank you. Alright, last question, guys.
This question is for Todd. I'm really glad that you said you prefer Lucy, because I was just wondering, would you do Natsu confessing his love to Lucy?
Lucy, we go on a lot of journeys, a lot of adventures. I've almost died a couple of times. We've all seen Plu with no clothes on. And all of this just tells me that life is short. And I don't know if it was that, fire that I had that upset my tummy and made me think about life and made me think that maybe that was the last bit of fire I'm ever going to have. But I don't want to waste any time. I've got 22 minutes to tell you how much I feel about it. And we've got sponsors we have to fit in. But, Lucy, will you do me the honor of letting me frighten you every day with my fire dragon roars? Every day. For the rest of your life. I want you to watch me die. That's how much I want to be with you.
that is tomorrow. We are going to announce the season 2 cast and some other goodies.
Thank you guys for being here.